Hi, thank you so much for watching, and welcome to the Freaky Friday read. Going to get into that in a minute, actually, and I've got a few minutes of driving and music, which I know you guys like. But just before we get into that, I've got to talk about a video that came out yesterday by Cancer Moon Tarot, who is a great reader, actually, and I enjoy his videos in any case. But this was... it was a good video, but it was less enjoyable because he's talking about a problem that's becoming quite a big thing in the tarot community at the moment. Very unfortunately, wherever there's any kind of success, you'll get people trying to rip other people off and just generally take financial advantage of whatever's going on. And his problem, and this has happened to me in the past actually, is that people are posing as him to try and get his work, get his clients to give, to get readings from them. That's what I'm trying to say. So he's had problems with that. I've been okay with that sort of thing myself, generally speaking, because I use two-step verification. No one can get into my YouTube details because as soon as anyone tries, Google will send me a notification to a different device, and I will have to agree to that, you know, whatever person is trying to get in, and obviously I don't unless it's me. But something did happen to me yesterday, and so it was something of a freaky Thursday for me. And it's the second time it's happened recently. Sort of once could maybe just be a mistake, but twice really got me thinking. And for the second time in the last couple of weeks, somebody emailed me to my Gmail account to ask for a private reading. Excuse me. And if you would like a private reading, by the way, my Gmail address is down there in the description. It's 35and83@gmail.com. Anyway, someone emailed me there asking for a reading. But there were some things that didn't ring true at all. You know, this person didn't seem to know that I was a YouTuber. You know, that's by the by, that happens. But... she told me she was an American. She wanted to find out where I lived, and I didn't tell her. But she said she lived in California, which is 2 hours behind Florida, and it's not, it's 3 hours behind. It's like 2 hours behind Texas, it's 2 hours behind Central, it's 2 hours behind Mountain Time, but very much 3 hours behind the West Coast. So that made me smell a rat. So, you know, my ears pricked up, and I was pretty sort of looking through it carefully at this stage. And she said that she'd found me through my website, and this is the second time recently someone said that. Now, I don't have a website, so that just can't have been true. So as things stand, I just ignored that email. She was obviously trying to find out where I live, which I guess would be just trying to find out some more information, because if you phone up certain agencies on the internet and say, oh, I'm locked out of my account, but this is my name and this is where I live, and you've got 2 or 3 bits of evidence, they might just possibly let you into the account, and I didn't want it to get to my PayPal or anything like that. So, yeah, I've just left it at that at the moment, and part of me, you know, the money side of me, the tightwad in me, is thinking, oh, maybe she was genuine, maybe I'm missing out on some money here. But that's how these guys work, you know, they play on any kind of fear you might have, any kind of concern that you might have. So, friends, if you want a reading from me, please do approach me, 35and83@gmail.com. Or, you know, leave me a message in the comments, and, you know, we can maybe go from there. But, you know, do be careful, because one thing I never do is actually reach out to someone and offer them a reading for money. Sometimes someone's spirit guide will want me to put a message out there and get in touch with someone. If that happens, there is no charge. I don't charge if spirit want me to connect to someone particularly. But if people want a reading from me, they can email me, they can ask. I don't kind of push it on people. I don't reach out and offer people paid readings, because quite honestly I don't need to, as much as anything, you know. I'm lucky with getting a fair bit of business. It's what I do for a living. It's all good. But there are scammers around in the YouTube tarot community at the moment, and they're not the people putting the videos out. Let me say that is not the case. We have a lovely community here, and Cancer Moon Tarot, I'm just so sorry to hear that happening to him, because he's genuine, you know, he's absolutely for real. And all the ones that you know and love that put videos out, we are for real. But make sure it's us you're talking to if you're after a private reading. Okay, that's all I can really say about that. I don't want to make it a bummer. It's just, you know, it's a fact of life, and I want people to know. Wow, it's just that sort of week. In yesterday's video, I was talking about trolls coming onto the live stream readings and just asking mad, pointless questions. You know, I've done something about that. I've blocked a few people. But there's always a plus side. I've also given some more people spanners to be a moderator. They get the wrench symbol, you know. We call them spanners in UK, but they're wrenches. There is something we call wrenches in UK, but there's only certain kinds of spanner that we call wrenches here. But yeah, it's a wrench, basically, a wrench symbol. And if you want to be a moderator, do let me know and I'll fix that up for you. And of course, live, let me just quickly plug it, live 3 times a week, Sundays and Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Central USA, and that works out at 9 p.m. in UK time. And Fridays, and this being a Freaky Friday read, there will be one later if you're watching this on the day I'm posting it. That's going to be 11 p.m. UK time, which is 5 p.m. Central USA time, and I hope you can work out your time wherever you are in the world from that. Okay, so with that, let's inset some a little bit of music and a little bit more driving through the country, which I know you guys love. This is Merlin land. This is where Merlin sort of wandered about and had quite a lot of his life. He travelled around a great deal in the British Isles, but this is where he was at the end of his life, and he spent quite a lot of time here at other points in his life as well. This is very much Merlin country. So here is a drive. Enjoy. So where would we be without the weekly Freaky Friday read? It's an interesting weekend. Gosh, full moon in Aquarius coming up on Sunday the 22nd. And also, of course, Uranus turned retrograde yesterday on the 19th. And if you're watching this video in the future, friends, the message is for you. It sure is. I'm just saying, if you're watching this right now, this Halloween tarot spread that we're going to do right this minute is most definitely related to what's going on this weekend for you guys. Okay, let's put the camera on the table and see what we get. And here we go. I've finally got a spread that looks a little bit like a horseshoe. And we've got a significator card for this one because it is a full moon weekend coming up as we do this. It's going to be a full moon in Aquarius, just a couple of days from the time I release this video. But anyway, a Moonology deck is always a pretty good thing to look into. But we'll use it for a significator for this Freaky Friday read from the Halloween tarot deck. Let's turn it over then and see what we have got. Right, third quarter moon, which it is. Very late in third quarter, but it is right this minute. Adjustments are required, and this is something to think about. It says in the book for this card, attune to the moon. Well, that's always a good thing to focus on, actually, and be aware of. But, you know, we're naturally attuned to the moon. As people who live on this floating ball in space, we are attuned to our own moon. Absolutely, for sure. So over the last few weeks, really more and more has been coming into you. If you think about it, you'll realise that the experiences that have been coming to you are actually... they're there to uplift you. They're there to get you further forward in life. And at this moment, I'm pretty fed up about scammers for obvious reasons that I was talking about just a few minutes ago. But that has actually taught me something. That is going to make me stronger. So positive or negative, whatever's coming into you is there for a positive reason and is actually going to help you take things forward. So we've got the branches blowing in the wind here. This is always a reminder that we're in a cycle, you know. There's no leaves on this tree, but that's always going on, you know. That's always the way it is with nature. Leaves will grow on that tree, and where there are leaves at the moment, they will fall off, but only to make room for more leaves. So things are filling up, and whatever you're wondering about at the moment, it's important to be honest with yourself, really. Are there some kind of toxic emotions involved in this? Is there something you need to release to the ether sphere, as it were? There's also a promise here that, you know, not everything is lost. Whatever might have been negative in life recently, it's all about changes. It's all about adjustments. And you've got to go through these things before you get to where you actually want to be. Life could be out of balance a bit. This could be what's causing your issues. You know, think about those issues. What could be causing them? And it could be time for a whole new plan. All right, that's important to think about when we come to full moon. It's something we think more about on a new moon because that really is the beginning of new plans. But really, you know, the cycle is always going on. So as we come up to full moon, it's time to start making those plans for where you're going to be going next. You might need to bring some trust to bear as well in your own life. Trust is such an important thing. So whatever you do, think about it, friends, and put all the trust into the spiritual realms, into the moon, into Grandmother Moon, who is, after all, our etheric grandmother in this world. She won't let you down, and she's coming up to full as we speak. So, into the Halloween Tarot deck. This is by Karen Lee, by the way, and has the wacky, crazy artwork of Kipling West. Really takes me to a good place every time I read from this deck. It's great fun. But, you know, it's a tarot deck. It's a serious thing, and it's just as good a reading as any other deck can provide us with, I'm sure, because it's all spiritual. So what is card number 1? Strength, Major Arcana, and here's the Lion Tamer with her hand in the lion's mouth there, and really quite a brave thing to do. But can you see in this version of it, she's actually feeding the lion something. Looks like the lion's getting a hot dog, so I guess the lion's not going to be too angry about that. And this is just a lot, actually, run out of words. Hang on, let me take a quick drink of my cup of tea here. Right. This has a lot to do with what I was saying here about There may be fearful things coming up, things could be difficult, but those hard things are to help you go forward in life. This is a reminder, really, then, that you do actually have the strength to face up to what's difficult, the lion, as it were. In another way, you might say, facing your demons. But you do have the strength, and all things are possible, and this is, very much nothing impossible about what's going on here. We've got the figure of 8 all over the place, so as above, so below. Be mindful that as you face your fears, as you have to call upon all your inner strength, the spirit world is right behind you. Spirit has your back, the universe has your back, and it's all good. Did I say it was number 7? Sorry, silly me, mixing it up with another deck there. It is, of course, number 8 itself. So that thing of the universe having your back, spirit having your back, the angels having your back, really reinforced by the idea of the figure of 8, and here we see it all over the card. Now, gentle persuasion might be a useful thing to bring to bear on whatever situation you're wondering about at the moment, because it's your inner strength, not your outer strength, that's really going to either solve this thing or keep this thing moving. Just use your best instincts. That's really what this card is all about. So let's move on and take a look at number 2. By the way, do let me know which cards you might have picked. Maybe you picked all 5, maybe you picked all 6. It's always up to you, Being your own psychic is what it's all about. But here is number 2, friends. It's the 2 of Bats. I will keep knocking this table. Excuse me, that's better. Right, the 2 of Bats. So this represents the suit of swords in the more traditional reading of the tarot. And so it's air sign energy. Gemini, Libra and Aquarius are associated with the energy of the Bats. And air signs, things can change. Big decisions usually to make when we get a sword card or a bat card coming up in a reading. And with the 2 of Bats, there's kind of a trick-or-treater here in an angel costume, really. Maybe she's away from home, maybe she's not in the right place, and that's why she needs to make a journey. When we have to make big decisions, part of ourselves isn't in exactly the right place. We're in the right place in terms of where we should be right now in the present moment, but we're only where we are because it gets us lined up for the next degree of change, to move up to the next level, as it were. Unresolved conflict, maybe, between people, between emotions. Things can conflict in our lives, can't they? And as the full moon comes in, the energy really gets very intense and it pushes us to want to get things done, make things different, make things really more positive. So dualities here. Now she's blindfold. She can't actually, she's not going to get any visual cues from the world, as it were, by looking. It's all in the conscious mind, and the bats, the swords are about things that go on in the mind, battles in the mind, decisions to be made. But she will be able to pick up on the vibe of the black cat, even though she can't see it because the black cat is there. It's just an indecisive time for her, really. So she's looking for compromise, she's looking for balance, and when you're looking for balance, it's another one of those things that the universe is totally in sync when you're actually looking for it, because balance is what the universe is always trying to do. That is why things aren't good sometimes. It's so they can be made good. It's so that healing can come in and work. So 2 of Bats there, card number 2. Did you pick card number 3, friends? Whether you did or not, it's relevant. It really is, believe me, because this is the heart of the matter. It's card number 3 in a 5 tarot card spread. I don't know, there's 6 cards, but it's card number 3. Should link to this one as well. Let's put my money where my mouth is and see what it is. It's the Ace of Ghosts. Wow, looks like the Ace of Cups to me in such a big way. We've got the element of water here, and it's spilling out, the cup runneth over, so to speak, and the ghost is looking pretty happy about the whole thing. We've also got these lotus flowers here, so we're thinking about spiritual connection as much as anything. And all these cards have a black cat. That's one of the things I love about this deck. There's always a black cat. The thing about ghosts is they're very changeable. Sometimes you can see them, sometimes you can't. What we see with our everyday eyes is only a tiny amount of what there actually is around us. So very changeable energy, energies that you might not be able to see, but then a minute later you might actually be able to see. Love and happiness is really what this card's about. And it's also, the ability that we have to experience that love, that happiness, those amazing feelings in our lives. And sometimes it's a decision to let those feelings in. And certainly with the Ace of Ghosts, or the Ace of Cups, that's what I would do, friends, at this full moon weekend. I would make that decision that you're going to let those positive things into your life. There's always stuff to worry about in the world. And just the title of this video actually tells you that I'm a little bit worried about certain things. Aren't we all? It's part of the human condition, but just like we were talking about the universe bringing in things into balance with the Two of Bats here, those worries are there to be resolved. They're there to teach. They're there to make us aware of beauty, aware of pleasure, and really to make us at home and comfortable with our own emotions, which we really need to be, Very spiritual kind of refreshment coming to us here. And it's running into the lake, which represents the subconscious mind. So it's coming in, whether we're ready or not. Might as well be ready for it. Might as well open our minds to it. In some ways, I could relate this to one of my old Doreen Virtue cards, which says, open your heart to love. That's what really needs to happen with the Ace of Cups energy, with the Ace of Ghosts energy. There we go, card number 3, the Ace of Ghosts. So let's keep on moving. Did you pick card number 4, friends? If you did, and even if you didn't, this is card number 4. And it is actually number 4 itself. It's the Emperor card from the Major Arcana. And we've got Franken Emperor here, Frankenstein the Emperor, chained up, and it's got a little brain in a jar there, but there are flowers growing out of the brain in the jar. So the craziest things can give rise to something beautiful. That's what I'm taking from that. We've also got the symbol of Aries the ram down here. So there's a ram-like energy. There's a pushing forward energy going on here. But at the same time, the Emperor is sometimes a wait and see kind of a card. The Emperor reminds us that resources are important, and that we've really got to make the most of what we have. And sometimes to make the most of our resources, we've got to take charge of a situation, We've got to take charge of those resources. We've got to decide just how far we will let other people into the picture. And my goodness, this again makes me think actually of scammers. You've got to be so careful who you let into your life, because some of them sadly are scammers. But leadership over your own life, really, and you might have to be quite domineering over your own life. But hell, why not? Being domineering is only really bad when people are forcing themselves onto other people. This is it in a positive way. This is having dominion over your own life. And I don't mean turning into Canada. Canada's a wonderful place. I've been there. I absolutely love it. I don't know, just saying Dominion made me think of Canada there. And I'm fishing around for why my guides have made me think of Canada with the Emperor card. But, Canada are careful with their resources. And it's quite a strict country as well. When I was in Toronto, I put my feet up on the seat in front of me on a train. And this huge train guard came along and scared the life out of me. He had a gun on and everything. And made me put my feet down. So, making the best of resources, actually taking responsibility, not just for having the resources, but for what we're actually going to do with the resources. And, of course, actions always have consequences. So there's the Emperor, the whole thing really quite nicely summed up by the Emperor, which makes me wonder, what is card number 5 going to be about if we've reached such a conclusive thing here? Well, the end of what we're going through is never really the end of life. In fact, even when we come to the end of our lives in this world, it's just a transition over to the next life, the other side of life, if you will. And so we're moving on from the Emperor to card number 5, our outcome card in this Freaky Friday read. What is it? It's the Queen of Bats. There she is, resplendent on her throne, a very experienced lady, and the sword here reminding us that really this is the Queen of Swords in terms of all the traditional tarot meanings. But hell, it's the Queen of Bats. Why not? You know, this deck is what it is. And there's the black cat appearing out of the clouds there. Very red-eyed, actually. Looks like the cat means business here. Maybe it's chasing the bat. And I do get bats in my house sometimes, actually. It's one of the great things of living in the country. But yeah, the Queen of Bats has great experience, you know. And yeah, she goes very well with the Emperor because she has dominion over her own life. And the amount of amazing knowledge that she's accrued over her lifetime, because she's an older lady, let's put it that way. Let's be gentle about it. The amount of knowledge that she's built up is actually a wealth, and she can help other people to have dominion over their lives. But for all that dominion, she's not a cold sort of character. Well, I suppose she is a little bit cold, but she's kind of really, you know, she's intense, she's exacting, she wants things done properly because she knows how things should be done properly. But she's not an unkind sort of person, really, you know. We've got the moth on her crown here, and, you know, that lets us know maybe she's dealing with loss. The moths popularly believed, and I believe, that moths carry the souls of our ancestors in the dust on their wings. So maybe there's some bereavement gone on here, but there is a definite understanding of bereavement. You know, she's got it above and below her. She understands. She's been there before. She's done that. She is smart. She's intuitive. She's quite intense. And here's the thing. She lives alone. So the Queen of Bats, in other words, the Queen of Swords, is about those big decisions that you sort of have to make on your own in order for life to make sense. And it really is good to decide things for yourself whenever you can, because other people just don't know you. They don't know how good you are at certain different things. And a lot of people actually need reminding how good they are at things, because I think we all have, you know, self-esteem issues from time to time. But the Queen of Bats reminds you that you're in charge, really. She's not an aggressive character, but she's out there, you know. She's no one's fool. She's not taking any nonsense. Kind of detached, but certainly a very human lady, and pointing us towards very human characteristics. So there we go. This full moon is coming in, and it's really, really time to take charge. All the cards are saying that one way or another, but we've come out with the Queen of Bats there, and it is about taking charge, friends. It's about knowing that you are in charge, because, as this card tells us, adjustments are required. And it is the third quarter of the moon at the moment, but it's about, well, we'd also call that last quarter. You know what I mean? It's when the moon is coming up to fullness. It's when the energy is all building up. So there you have it. Now I've moved the camera and the light angles are all different. Hey, this is the crazy world of Twig Brother in conjunction with the crazy world of the Halloween Tarot. I hope you enjoyed that one, friends. Enjoying some nice Earl Grey tea. That you cannot beat Earl Grey tea. I absolutely love it. But I would, wouldn't I? I'm an English guy. A crazy English guy. And this was a crazy tarot reading from the Halloween deck, which is just amazing. I'm so glad I got this deck. Thanks so much, Adrienne. Adrienne sent it to me. So with that, have a great time ahead, folks. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button, because there's more videos coming up all the time. If cameras allow me, I've had some camera and computer trouble in the last week, so there haven't been my usual number of videos in the last week, but there will be next week. I'm confident of it, okay? And confidence really is the key to, you know, making things happen. Visualizing, believing that what you want to happen can be made to happen, can be brought into reality. No time like the present, no time like the run up to full moon for actually getting the energy out there and making those things happen, manifesting what you want, visualizing it, believing it. So yeah, do hit the subscribe button, friends. More videos coming all the time. If you'd like a private reading, do hit me up, 35and83@gmail.com. It's down there in the description. And so are the links to my PayPal account and my Coffee page. Now, they both actually link to PayPal. Coffee don't take a cut at all, and on the coffee page there are various pictures of what's going on in my life, which haven't been updated for a while for various reasons, but I've got some stored in the computer. I want to get those on there as soon as I can, so do check out the coffee page. It's also a great place to go if you'd like to support me in my work, and a lot of you guys have and continue to support me with a few sort of pounds, a few dollars coming in through coffee and through PayPal. Very welcome, very much appreciated. You might be surprised at how much money I actually get through running quite a simple channel like this. The car was just massively expensive a couple of days ago, and I know I have a lot of lighting issues, but I do have some big studio lights here which are going to need replacing sooner or later. So all help gratefully received at coffee.com/twig. It's down in the description, or PayPal. Is it? Yeah, paypal.me/twigbrother, which is also down there in the description. Meanwhile, live video coming up. If you're watching this on the day, on Friday the 20th of August 2021, I will be here. I hope. It all depends on the internet, but it usually works. The plan is I'll be here at 5 p.m. Excuse me, at 5 p.m. Central USA time, 11 p.m. UK time on Friday, and again on Sunday, 3 p.m. Central, 9 p.m. UK time. Looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing you all again, guys, so do drop a like on this if you have enjoyed it, and leave me a comment. Let me know which cards you picked, and we will share the journey, which is what the comments are all about. Have a fabulous time. Be good to each other, guys. Love to you, light to you, blessings, and peace.